the projectile too. So, yes.
Oh, the old projectile.
Me even now
Pea soup? I can't look at pea soup the same.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Hate to remind you about that. All right, you mentioned headlines. I am here to deliver them to all of you. And Falcons wide receiver Julio Jones making headlines earlier this week with the "I'm out of there" statement to FS1 Shannon Sharp. And he made it known that his days in Atlanta could be numbered in 2021, that he wants to play elsewhere. Well, NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport is reporting, as he does with this context, that Jones requested a trade from the Falcons months ago, and the team has agreed to listen to offers from interested clubs. New Falcons head coach Arthur Smith talked about Jones's future in Atlanta. Sort of.
Jeff, again, I don't speculate on stuff like that. I don't even know really what you're talking about. So I'm not going to comment, again, on these private conversations we have. Again, Tori, I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to speculate. Again, I'm not going to comment on any potential issues with the roster moving forward.
Yeah, Smith is like, no, I'm not touching that. Well, as you might remember, the Steelers started last season as the hottest team in the NFL before struggling down the stretch. Ben Roethlisberger took a lot of the heat for that collapse, causing some to speculate that this could be his last season in Pittsburgh. But Pro Bowl defensive tackle or defensive lineman and friend of the show, Cam Hayward, not having any of that talk.
Man, I think we're just blowing it out of proportion. Dude went 11-0 to start the season. How many other quarterbacks did that? I've seen this guy win Super Bowls on TV. I've seen him day in and day out compete. So when I hear the bad mouthing about him being, a not great quarterbacks, and then everybody's ready to elevate other quarterbacks, I'm like, what have they done? This guy is a proven winner, but yet we're ready to discount him.
Cam Hayward, of course, friend of the show. Love when he is on. And we have not seen him this fired up on this program since P. Schrage picked the Bills to beat those 11-1 Steelers. And we should point out, Schrage ended up being right.
That's what he's talking about.
Hey. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Will. We appreciate you, and we'll keep that talk going here. The Steelers posted this video, guys, of Ben Roethlisberger handing the ball off to the rookie, a rookie who's been on our show, one who Nate's loving in 2021, Najee Harris. This is at practice. We could get used to this, it says. All right, let's look ahead to the Steelers' 2021 season. D'Angelo, do you think that we are overlooking this team as contenders in what is a flashy, much improved division?
No, not at all. Not at all. We're not overlooking the Steelers. The Steelers have a lot to prove to us. And to a certain extent, Casey has a point, right? He has a point from the standpoint that Ben Roethlisberger is a good quarterback. He can win games. But it's not just going to be on Ben Roethlisberger. Just think about it. They fired their offensive coordinator, Randy Fichtner, and so the play calling they weren't pleased with. They got to be able to run the football. You saw that video of Najee Harris getting the handoff. The Steelers were always known as a power football team that beat you up with their defense and their physicality. They have gotten away from that. Last year, even when they were 11-0, I saw the Washington football team hit them in the mouth up there in Pittsburgh and gave them their first loss, followed by Buffalo. And so they got to find a way to get their running back the football, whether that's running it downhill or whether that's even passing the ball to Najee Harris, because we know the matchup nightmare that he's going to be able to present. That's why the Steelers drafted him. So I think they have a lot of upside. Matt Kennedy, I can't wait to watch him call plays, the new offensive coordinator for the Steelers. But yeah, they gotta show me that they're gonna be willing to run the football before I can say, come on, you are in the same arena with Kansas City, the Bills, even in their division, Cleveland Browns.
I agree with you, D-Hall, and Najee Harris was my favorite interview I did of the entire offseason. Absolutely in love with the guy. He's fantastic. They need to give him the football, but there's two main reasons we're having this discussion. The first one is, We are all about what have you done for me lately. 1-4 to finish the regular season and then getting absolutely mollywopped in the playoffs by Cleveland with their head coach in his basement back in Cleveland. You give up 4 turnovers in the first 20 minutes. You give up 48 points, the most in any playoff game in Steelers history. And that's why we're having this conversation. And that leads into the other point. We always talk about veteran quarterbacks and do they gradually get worse? No, we always talk about them falling off the cliff. And that's the question we have with Ben Roethlisberger. Has he have anything left when he comes back this season? I think that's the question we want answered right away at the beginning of the season. And we talk about 11-0 and you hear him talking about how many quarterbacks went 11-0. I don't want to, you got to win the games and the league is hard. They had the second easiest schedule in football last year. You look at the schedule this year, they have the toughest schedule in the NFL this year. And then you look at that first portion of games leading into Halloween when D-Hall we know is going to be dressed as a clown. Look at these Buffalo, Cleveland, Green Bay, Seattle. Like, you have a tough stretch to start the season. It is definitely different sledding at the beginning of this year for Matt Canada and that offense compared to Schrags, what they went through last year at the beginning of the season. And I think the way Ben Roethlisberger plays early is going to distill any thoughts we have is, does he have anything left?
I like what Cam Hayward said, though, and I think that's important. There has to be a us against the world mentality there because a lot of people rolled their eyes at the Steelers offseason. For Big Ben to be coming back, and yes, he's giving back money to the team, a lot of people are like, all right, well, is that the best thing for the team considering what we saw it with? They say yes. How about bringing back Juju Smith-Schuster after he danced with free agency and didn't have a partner to go to? He says, I'm going to actually come back here a little bit tail between the legs, taking money that probably wasn't what he was expecting to get another shot at it with Pittsburgh. And then lastly, to them double down and say, we love this offense and we know we need a running back. We're going to take a running back in the first round, something that is not done. I like that Cam Hayward's talking about this. I hope the whole team embodies this because if we see them doing TikTok dances before a big game and losing again, it's as if they learned nothing and they'll be out of the playoffs or not even in the playoffs before we even start talking about the Steelers legitimately.
At GMFB with your thoughts. Up next, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, both first-round talents, both, and may not even see the field this year. Or will they? What happens first is up next.
Brett Favre, legendary quarterback. Jerry Rice, legendary wide receiver.
You ready for your weekly meeting?
Yeah, we're ready.